What's going on? My name's Justin. I am the vocalist for Vescent,
I'm Jessi.
and this is the Heavy Mental Breakdown.
So, Justin, you have Jessi on today, who is your wife. That is a first for Heavy Mental Breakdown. I have not had a married couple sharing their story. So, welcome to both of you. Thank you both for coming on and telling the story. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So Justin, we originally got connected through a staple in Philly called Skip Church Raise Hell. What is your connection with that, with them? What's your side of that look like?
Right. So, Skip Church Raise Hell, shout out to Dee. She is the founder of Skip Church Raise Hell, for lack of a better way for me to think about saying that. She's the one that really controls everything that goes on there. I basically help out where I can, when I can. I do whatever it is that I can to try and help her with venues and things like that. If there's a venue that can't do something, we can try and find another spot, being someone that hangs out with my friends all the time, and we'll go to places and see cover bands play and say, hey, is this a spot that could potentially have a metal show? And let's talk to the people that would run the music there and see if they'd be down. And then it turns into places like McDuff's, which was where we actually met. And yeah,
I was going to ask you if you were at that show.
I was running sound there, and that's where we first met. And
because I was gonna say, I'm like, I know I've met you, but and then my next question was going to be, were you at McDuff's for the Boar and Toothless show?
Yes. Yep. Yes.
Fuck, sorry, I forgot about that, man.
No problem at all. And, like, I'm so busy when we're doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember you kicked me out of my spot a couple times when I was doing photos. You're like, hey, get the fuck out of here, dude. I got some sound to run.
Just want to make sure no one's clipping. Or,
yeah. No, that was a cool spot. That was the first time I had gone there.
I mean, that place is actually right around the corner from my house, and
okay.
It's like, your good old classic dive bar.
Yeah.
On like Tuesdays, they do open mics and things like that, but I don't think they've ever really done the whole like, hey, like, let's get a couple of bands in here. And that was my idea over time. Like,
okay.
I was like, I think that this could do some shows, and I think people would be interested in coming out, because years ago, 12, 13, 14 years ago, in this Northeast Philadelphia area, you had shows in high school cafeterias. In the college down the street called Holy Family used to have hardcore and metalcore and whatever shows all the time. And that kind of stuff just doesn't happen anymore. And granted, it's probably on us for, ruining that. But yeah, it was also, it's also something that I think, especially with a new generation coming into play, that they probably wanted. And I know we both look stupid young, but we're 30. And so it happened when we were in middle school, and we seen it all. And we tried to fit in, even though we were a little too young to really make
an impact. Yeah,
to mesh well. But yeah.
Yeah. So how is that? How is it going for you so far? Are you digging being with Skip Church? How's it working with Dee? She seems like I've only got to talk to her a couple times, but actually, Heavy Mental Breakdown is sponsoring one of the shows out there in May.
Oh, solid.
So I'm going to be coming back out, and I'll have a booth. I'll be interviewing all the bands there. It's going to be fun.
That is going to be awesome. You said in May. Do you know which date? Is that going to be the we'll keep this one quiet. Maybe this one isn't something that hits the pod, but
okay. Yeah. I think barbed wire dolls. So I'll be at that one.
So we'll be playing that. I could shoot her a text.
Oh, sick.
I could shoot her a text and be like, I'm on this pod right now. Is barbed wire something we can talk about? And if
because I'm pretty sure that show's been announced. I don't think the lineup's been announced.
But
I think the show's been announced though.
I think you are 100% right. Yes. So
I think there's like a graphic video or something, or kind of like a slideshow or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, she did the
But if you want to double check that, if we can talk about
yeah,
that and
for
put it
sure.
on here, that would be cool. But it's already been
For sure. I'll
announced.
shoot her a text real quick. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a great time.
Cool. So you're playing that one. Sick.
Yeah, last year was fucking awesome, and I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that the sound there that day is as dope as possible. You do video recording and stuff like that of just the shows in general.
Yeah.
I would love to extend my capabilities to you. I just started messing around with it, but it worked out really well. Just some multi-track recording. So if any bands ask you to do anything specifically and you want to have high quality audio, let me know.
Oh shit. Sounds good. Definitely.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm sponsoring a show. So that Boar and Toothless show was actually the first show that I've ever sponsored, and I was kind of, I'm brand new to the sponsoring thing, and so I was like, okay, let me kind of see how this goes, what I would need. So let me think on that. Let me think on that because I'm sponsoring a show in Denver in a couple weeks, so I'm flying out for that one. Uh, and I think that will be the first because it's a massive fucking show. So
In college,
I'll kind of, gauge it out and see if
I would love to go out to Colorado, do some
dude,
snowboarding, little
hell
pot.
yeah.
Again.
Uh, I
Yeah,
broke.
my family lived out there for 10 years, and so I know Colorado, Denver area pretty well. Whenever I'm training for a marathon, I go to Colorado because of the altitude.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it
with the
really helps my lungs a lot.
that's awesome.
But I still got
That
a bunch of family and stuff out there.
you do marathons.
Yeah.
Oh man, you couldn't catch me running unless there was a gun.
I wanted to do the Philly marathon last year, but it's sold out. The Philly
Oh wow.
marathon is blowing up in the marathon world right now. So that's a goal of mine to do that one, but we'll see. We'll see. Cool. Well, yeah, the Raise Hell Skip Church Raise Hell has been good to me. It's been good to the podcast, and I'm stoked to
Yeah.
keep this relationship going with you and Deke, man.
Yeah,
It's been a good one.
she's gonna have a lot of really cool bands from all over on that day at Barbed Wire. And she does
Mm.
so it's not only bands, it's also wrestling, which is really cool.
Oh,
And yeah, it's like local, or I don't even know if it's necessarily local, but I think it is local, just wrestling acts that come through, and it's like underground wrestling, and it's really cool.
is
Like
there going to be wrestling going on during the show or like
yeah,
that day?
so how she did it last
Oh,
year. Yeah, so
that's cool.
how she did it last year, she had music coming out of the garage area. If you've ever been to Bonks in Philadelphia, you know exactly
I
what the
haven't.
situation looks like. But well, for any of the viewers, if they've ever been there, they know exactly what that looks like. For any smaller shows, they'll usually do them inside. When it gets nicer out, they'll open up access to the outside, and they'll shut the whole
Mm,
street down if the show's big enough. So
really? That's
yeah,
dope.
the Haywire show was insane last year. You could see it from the highway. They're shooting off fireworks and things. It was crazy.
So this is
Um,
so what you're saying, this is probably the best one out there for me to be a part of.
Oh, yes.
well, yeah, Barbed Wire for sure. Yeah, I mean that Haywire show was a one-off thing, and we know how Haywire gets, But
Mm,
but Barbed Wire in and of itself is just so cool. Vendors, the wrestling, of course, and then you
yeah.
got the bands. And how she did it was perfect because it was like there was no shortage of something to do if you were there. You could watch a
Mm.
band, and then immediately once the band's over, it's a wrestling match. So you just over and watch the wrestling match. While the wrestling match is happening, bands are doing a turnover. So the wrestling
Yeah.
match ends, and then the
That's
next
awesome. So instead of just standing around awkwardly waiting, you can go watch a wrestling match.
exactly. She's doing
Fuck yeah.
everything super smart, and the vendors that she has are always really unique and really cool. I spent more money than I should have on hot sauce last year.
Don't tell me that, man. I'm a huge hot sauce fan. All right, all right. So basically, what you're saying is prepare for hot sauce, and then also wear my Triple H shirt because I'm a wrestling fan. So
Definitely,
okay,
definitely, definitely, definitely.
okay. I'm getting more prepared for the show. I dig it, and I bet you're learning a lot from D too. Like bringing you in this world and teaching you some things and introducing you to people and stuff like that. Sure, it's
Yeah,
helped your band
for
as
sure, for
well.
sure, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. I mean, so I was in a band when I was younger, And it was a pop punk band, so it was kind of the same
Sick.
world,
Uh-huh.
but like not really the exact same world, you know. And the creating connections thing was pretty natural to me, and that's what I would hope is the reason that I ended up meeting D.
Mm.
But it's kind of been as challenges have came up for her, they've been things that I've just put myself in the position to try and solve, and that's where I find myself learning the most.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
she needs a sound guy. She's like, "Do you know anybody that does sound?" And I'm like, "Well, I know somebody that has like a system and a mixer, and I like in my head know how it works. I just haven't had it in front of me. So like I could see what's up with the system at the very least and just bring the system to you." And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Okay." And then I opened up the mixer for the first time and I was like, "Oh, this is fun." And then, that was 7 months ago. And now
Yeah.
I'm thinking about all these things that I didn't ever think about before.
Well, you are in the perfect position to be in a band because now you know all the venues, you know the people, and you're like, hey, we'll have Vescent added to this lineup.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Since I'm here,
sometimes it does work that way. Sometimes it does work that way. Yes.
yeah. So the second reason why we're here is because what we just said, you have a band called Vescent. Why don't you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about the band, how long you've been going for, and just a little bit of a background?
Yeah, for sure. We actually got together as a group of guys a few years ago at this point. It was probably in late 2024 where we
Oh,
had a
okay.
solid four-piece of people that we actually wanted to work with. Me and Ben are like the founders. Me and him had the whole idea to start a band. He's my best friend, and we've known each other since we were kids. And growing up, we didn't really know if the other one liked each other, which is really funny. Um,
I've been in.
but,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I think
right,
we've all
right,
kind of been there at some
right.
point.
Which is really funny because
Yeah.
in my head, I liked him like a lot. Every time I was around Ben, I was like, "Oh, it's a great time."
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like super funny how in the long run, years and years later, we ended up, you know, back in the day, we both played instruments, but we didn't talk about it.
Mm.
And then just now in the future, we ended up living together at one point. And when we were living together, we both had an acoustic guitar and we started playing. And then next thing you know, we're uploading covers on YouTube. And then we're in some brewery doing some cover songs and
Mm.
everybody's loving it. And then two more guys show up. You know what I mean? Jay, who's our bass player, I was working with him. And, he was just wearing a Sanction beanie. And I'm like, "Yo, you listen to metal?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You play any instruments?" And he was like, "I actually play bass." And I was like, "Do you?" I was like,
Mm.
"By chance, do you want to jam with me and a couple of guys?" And he was like, "Yeah." So then a week later, we're in our drummer Chris's basement because he's a friend of mine from back in the pop punk days. Playing over in the Levittown area and things like that at the church. If anybody from Levittown ends up being a listener, well, Levittown, funny enough, Levittown, Pennsylvania, not New York. But yeah, it knew him forever, and he was 100% down to join in, and we ended up in his basement playing through old songs that
Mm.
we all kind of knew, and then it just meshed well. Next thing you know, we started writing things, and we released our first song the beginning of last year. So January of 2025 was our first single, Mirror, and then we
Mm.
followed that up with another single, Leech, and a music video, which was done by our friend Josh. He works very close with a band from Philadelphia. Also, they're called Cheer Up Dusty.
Mm. Cool. I
Um,
like the name.
they're an awesome band. They're very much in that pop punk scene. But
Cool.
yeah,
Love it.
awesome. And then we followed up that second release with an EP. Um,
Hmm.
we
What a
kind of
year. What a year for you guys, huh?
It was fun. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely fun. We played our first show in June um, of 2025. So I guess technically we still haven't even been playing shows for a full year. It's only been 6, 7 months that we've been
Yeah.
playing shows.
Yeah.
Um,
Six,
we had the
7 months of really just touring and getting music out and singles and an EP, and it's just like, holy shit.
is that the meme? Did we just do the 6 7 meme by accident?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we did.
I was just talking about this yesterday
Fuck.
because I was just like, I don't understand what this means. I don't think it
Yeah,
means
I don't.
anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh, there we go. We did the 6 7 thing. Um, so just going back just a tiny bit, I wanted to call out one thing, as you had said that you guys didn't know if you were going to connect or friends, if you like each other, and then you started, and the key word was talking. It's crazy what talking will do, huh?
Right. Well, actually, a lot of things happened. So we were in the same general friend group, and a lot of crazy things happened in that friend group as we were growing up. Me and him both did this like gymnastic stuff, like doing backflips and random like parkour, you know.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
and and in that group of friends, we had another group of friends that was like the extended group of that friend group, and we would party a lot and things like that. And this is all as we're coming out of high school, going into college, and just something tragic ended up happening. And a friend of
Mm,
ours basically died at the hand of another friend of ours.
mm,
So it was kind of really hard for us to figure out what was going to happen after
yeah.
the fact. He got arrested, but luckily, because of us knowing the situation that he was in, the mindset that he was in, we were able to get him a lesser sentence, and now he gets to, actually live his life after a mistake that would normally put people away for their life.
Mm,
But
wow.
unfortunately, we no longer have Jake, and Ben had a a realizing moment that he needed to get out of this area, so he moved actually to New
New
York.
York. Yeah.
Mm.
And he's living in New York for about 10 years. And
Oh, okay.
when he came back to this area, I don't remember if he was visiting or if he was actually fully moved back at that point. We seen each other just like off a whim, and I just ran up to him and I hugged him. You know what I mean?
Mm,
After
hmm
10 years of not seeing him, and the last thing that happened when we did see each other was a friend of ours had passed away.
Yeah.
So it was like, yo, it's nice to see you. And that just kind of sparked that friendship,
Mm,
which then just dug really, really deep,
that's
you know?
awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, speaking of the EP is called Black and White. Um,
Yes.
and that is the song that we're going to be breaking down tonight called Black and White. I know you and I have discussed it a little bit, but for those who are listening, why did you choose this song and what does it mean to you?
Cool. So, yeah, I mean, this song is about a mental diagnosis. It is about borderline personality disorder. One night we were sitting there, and a lot of our songs actually pull on emotional things, whether it's self-reflection or loss or something like a mental disorder. I'm thinking about suicide, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to it, we were sitting there and we had a riff and like a whole song idea, and basically the whole song was written, and I'm sitting there with writer's block, and Jessi, my wife, and me are sitting there, and we kind of had the idea, well, let's write a song about a mental disorder, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
that followed up with a conversation about her and her struggles, and we started just getting into it, and basically she would explain a feeling, and then I would try and put it into a general saying, quote, sentence,
Mm,
something that could work as a lyric.
hmm.
So that way other people can relate to it, because I mean, realistically, that's what songwriting is, right?
Yeah.
So,
So Jesse, I have a question for you. How did it feel for there to be a song written kind of about what's going on in your head? How does that make you feel?
It was actually kind of freeing because it's like I feel like a lot of times when you're going through things, you just feel alone or like nobody really understands truly how you're feeling.
Yeah.
So, like, because a lot of the song when I look at the lyrics, it's like it's things that go through my head. So like I would give him like a statement, like black and white, literally, because I always think in black and white. Why do I do that? So like just giving him a phrase, and some of the phrases ended up staying pretty much exactly how I said it, but not always. So it's like when I read it, it's almost like, I don't know, just hearing myself, and it kind of feels validating in a sense, you know?
That's cool that you said it's freeing in a way.
Yeah, because it's like you always keep
Yeah.
everything inside because you don't think anybody will
Yeah.
understand. They'll judge you or something. So it was like being able to get that all out and then have somebody who's really good with words, because that's also part of it, is like not being able to explain it correctly to where it makes sense, because it's kind of like a jumbled mess in your head. To have somebody put that together for you, you know what I mean? And put it in such a awesome way, you know? It's like pretty awesome.
Hell yeah. So you guys are life partners and also songwriting partners. Is this the first one you teamed up on together, or has this okay. First one.
So this is the first song that we've teamed up on together.
Cool.
But when it comes to Vescent as an entity, she is a major portion of the team.
How so?
She designed the EP artwork.
Okay.
She takes all of our photos. She does the logos, hand drawn. All of it. So basically all of the things that make us look cool, that's her.
Well, but like you said, we're partners, and you know, me and Justin were best friends for a long time before we were actually together. And you know, so I've always known Justin's super talented, and when we got together, he was like dabbling in music, kind of, but like he wasn't doing it. And I was just like, this person is entirely too talented to like let that just waste away, you know? So I just, when I seen that, I was like, we got to do this. And I feel like my dad liked music a lot, and he didn't really have anybody to support him, you know what I mean? And like tell them that they believed in him, you know what I mean? And just see the picture that, you know, sometimes even before the person can see it. And so I just really wanted to make sure Justin knew that I believed in him. And then I just wanted to help in any way that I knew that I could, you know what I mean? Just to make sure that he can give this thing a full shot, you know, because at least it's better to try and fail than or never know. You know what I mean? It's just like, I want him to really give it his all, and I want everybody to hear it, because I know that they'll see what I see, you know?
Wow.
I definitely would not be doing this if it wasn't for her. When we finally decided, you know, after 10 years of friendship, to like get together, she basically smacked me in the face, for lack of a better way to say it. It was like,
literally.
And she was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was selling cars. I was working for Toyota selling cars.
Bro had a comb over.
I had a comb over. And
she's laughing.
I did the whole like get a big boy job.
And
just listen to everybody that doubts you.
Had a tie on, probably, if you worked as a car salesman.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
And she was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, true. And I wouldn't have even thought about it. But now I'm a freelance sound guy that works close with Skip Church, Raise Hell, and is in a band that just started.
You know, I'm gonna say something. This whole thing got me chills for many reasons, but I'm gonna say the, you know, kind of surface level reason. My wife, I call her the beauty behind the brand. She helps design things for me, and she's the beauty of Heavy Mental Breakdown. I'm the ugly host who talks to people, but she's the beauty behind it all.
Her name is also Jess?
Yes, it is. Jessica, yeah. It is. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. No, but this podcast wouldn't exist if it wasn't for her. She's the one who pushed me to do this, because I was terrified. I'm like, I'm going to go to the world and talk about my bipolar, about my mental struggles, the way that I see the world in black and white. And it's hard to talk about, you know, it's very, very difficult to talk about, but she believed in me, and she was like, you got to do this. And Justin, you and I have great women in our lives, dude.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We both got real ones.
Well, he does the same for me, because, you know, I've always done photography and art. I've drawn my whole life, but like I never really did it fully. You know, I just kind of had hearsay jobs for family members or friends, and he did the same thing for me. He believes in me and pushed me to do it, not just for Vescent because I believe in him, but for other bands too. So now,
Oh, cool.
you know, in the same time that he's been playing shows in the last 6 months, I've photographed over 30 bands. So it's like,
shit, good for you.
I wouldn't have been able to do that if he didn't believe in me too. So
Yeah,
we kinda do that
you
for
guys
each other.
make each other better.
We do.
Yeah,
We do.
that's, I know it. I know the feeling.
Shout out the Friend Circle song, another pop punk band. But I literally use that song as like the lyrics are like, "You make me better than who I was before." Oh yeah, but like yeah, gotta hit him with that. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I have so when I found out the meaning and the meaning behind the song, it really stuck with me because I didn't know what it was going to be about, and when you said what it was about, I'm like, yes, we need to talk about this because I have, I experience a lot of the same things that are talked about in this song, and bipolar is something very hard to live with.
Yeah, bipolar and borderliner. So
They're very similar, yeah.
They get confused a lot.
Yeah, like they get misdiagnosed because some of the traits of the two are very similar, so I totally get.
Yeah, so when I heard that, I'm like, we need to do this episode. I have yet to hear the song, and I have the lyrics pulled up, but I haven't really looked at them yet.
Okay.
So, a first reaction.
Right.
Yeah, this is a first reaction, and the way that I like to do this is I like to say first what the lyrics make me feel when I first hear it and in the moment, and then I'll ask you, what is this about for you, and kind of just do a little back and forth here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. This is Black and White by Vescent. Let's fuck with this track. I'm actually stopping it already. I have a question. Yeah. So where that intro takes me, I'm hearing a different guitar riff in this ear, and I'm hearing the in this ear, and it makes me feel like I'm spinning. And I'm looking at the artwork, and it's like a what? Well, first off, what is that in the artwork? What would you call that?
So what that is a picture actually of Vescent that I morphed into that.
Oh, shit.
And then I put a texture over it and then some splatters. And it just kind of reminded me of like an ink blob that you would do at like a therapist's visit. And I sent it to Justin as on a whim, like, this could be cool. And he liked it a lot, and so did everybody else. So it kind of just worked.
Well, with the meaning of the song too,
yeah, exactly.
It works.
Because that's what I was going for, because we knew that Black and White was the title track. So we knew that. And when I was sitting there, I was like, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed because I just want Justin to love everything I do.
Yeah.
So I was like sitting there thinking, I'm like, what can I do? And I'm like, this could be cool. And I just kind of gave it. He always ends up liking things more when I just go with actually what I want instead of trying to think what he would want.
Yeah. And, we want as men, we need our women to just tell us this is what it is. Sometimes this is this is the route I think we should go.
She's better at it. And a lot of the times it's like all she's trying to do is capture whatever picture it is that's in my head, but that's it's literally impossible.
Yeah.
So I would never put that on somebody, So I'm just like, no, like I understand that I'm an asshole, but like don't do any of the things that it is that you think you would need to do in order to like satisfy this, because I guarantee you whatever it is, the version of it that you're viewing in your head is probably better than mine, because I'm not as creative as you.
I was just gonna say, like, if you're asking me what I want, there's a reason why I'm putting you in charge, because I don't know what I want. I'm holding, I want your creative vision. That's why I want you to do this. I tell my wife the same thing because she's like, "Well, what do you want on it? How do you want to design?" I'm like, "Babe, I don't. That's why I'm coming to
That's the
you."
hard line though when you're working with the person that you love, you know, because like
Right.
you have the professionalism like that. There's like it's different because I've done artwork for other bands now, and it's just like they tell me what they're thinking and then I just make it, you know what I mean, and do my
Right.
version of it. And there is no second guessing myself, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it comes to him, I just, it's just a little different because there's a little more feelings involved,
I was just gonna say it's because you care a little bit more about it.
That's
That's why.
exactly.
But speaking of like how I was saying, the different guitars in my ear, the going kind of fast, had like a Twilight Zone kind of a vibe to it. And then I
Right.
see the spiral and I'm like, wait a minute, the spiral, I know that spiral from in here too. So just the
Yeah.
way you like have structured everything like puts me in that place already.
Yep.
I was
That's
like,
kind
oh shit, I'm like 20 seconds in and I'm spinning in circles, but that's how my head works anyway, so it felt natural.
of it's kind of the vibe we were trying to pull
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Many layers here. I dig it. You guys have thought about this. Put a lot
Yeah.
of thought into this. I like it. All right, let's keep spinning.
Fight or flight, out of sight. You can tell me how to feel 'cause you don't know what's right. Oh, I've got this feeling things out inside that everybody's out to get me, but it's my own mind. Oh, is this the only thing I'll ever know? Trying so hard to feel so hollow, face to face with everything I saw. I hate myself, I think it fucking shows.
Oh, okay. Hold on. All right, all right. AA, fight or flight. It's either this way or it's a different way, or no, it's only this way. And if it's not, I'm not doing it.
Yep.
I'm a very stubborn person.
Yeah.
And everything for me is kind of fight or flight. There's a song I love. It's called "Fight to the Death" because I stand very firm on what I love and what I believe, and it's all or nothing.
Right.
Yep.
All or nothing. Greatness or death from Beartooth. That's what I'll say it.
Yep.
Out of sight. You can't tell me how to feel because you don't know what's right. So that takes me two different ways. I feel like that somebody can be telling themselves, you can't tell me how to feel because you don't know what's right. I feel like it's more of an internal thought than telling somebody something because with my disease, I call it, I don't trust my own emotions sometimes because it's super exaggerated and it's like tenfold. And it's like, wait a minute. Is this my disease mind thinking this or is it my regular mind? And then I just get confused.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's exactly where that took me.
That's exactly where it came from
Yeah.
because I've learned in therapy with borderline you get such extreme feelings and like you have to assess a lot of times in moments like is this feeling appropriate for what's going on or is this bigger than what it should be, you know what I mean? And so I have that feeling with myself exactly what you described and then also trying to explain what is going on in my head and somebody telling me oh no, just do this. Or no, that's not that. Don't feel that way. And
Yeah.
it's just
So
like,
you kind of have to go through this to truly get it. It
Yeah,
is
exactly.
very hard to explain.
you can't tell somebody if their feelings are valid or not. You know what I mean? Because something that could be huge to you could be small to somebody else or vice versa. So
Yeah.
it's like
I've blown things up massively that like a couple hours later when I was starting to come down off my manic episode, I'm like, oh shit. What did I do?
But then you also have to position yourself from, the other side of the relationship. If you're not the one that's struggling with that thing, and then you are the person that is saying to somebody like, hey man, this doesn't make sense. You need to position it the correct way to where you're not going to put them in that fight or flight mode.
right.
Because if you don't, expect nothing but hell.
Yeah. There's like a numbing feeling that I get when I'm going through an episode. Like I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I kind of just feel numb. And when an emotion starts to go up and I tell my wife, hey, the numbing's starting right now. Just letting you know. Just so she's aware of,
A similar thing, like if me and him are like not we're not connecting in the moment, like on a disagreement or whatever, and I'll tell him like, you know, I'm at like my emotions already hit peak. Like I'm there. I'm not going to be receptive to what
And
you're
you
trying
just
to
shut down.
Yeah, it's just like because that's what borderline is. It's like you go from 1 to like 100,
Yeah.
and it could be anything. It could be good or bad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not just bad.
Yeah.
So I've been learning to communicate that to him because you know, got to realize too that it's not just because he's not going through what I'm going through. It's still hard for him too. You know, so
Yeah, and like the little things we can do to make the other, like our partner who is supporting us better, I think is awesome. And we also do a color coding system where I'm like, I'm orange right now. Like I feel like I'm getting there. And there's times where I'm like, babe, I'm red.
Yeah.
I need to go downstairs for a little bit. It's not you.
Yeah.
And there's times where I go, I'm green. Let's hang out.
Let's hang out.
Yeah.
I get it. But I also see it in a way kind of flipped where you're telling somebody about what you're going through. And I think that this is what you're saying earlier, but to me it's like when you tell someone what you're going through and they tell you, like, you don't know what's right. You don't know what I'm going through. So there's like a double thing. There's like a double meaning there.
Yeah, we wanted it that way so people on either side relate. You know what I mean? Like somebody could take it one way or somebody could take it the other way, but either way they're relating to the line, you know.
Mm-hmm. I've got this feeling deep down inside that everybody's out to get me, but it's all in my mind. I can't tell you how many friendships that I've ruined. Just thinking they're out trying to get me, or they would say something and I'm like, they fucking hate me. Okay, I'm gonna cut them out of my life. They're done. Right. They're dead to me. Yeah. Like that's where my shit goes sometimes with people, and I'm like, they said this, that means they don't respect me. They don't, value our friendship. They're dead to me.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yep. That one was super easy for me to relate to. Because basically how this whole song came about is, we were sitting here and she would give me some type of feeling and I was just trying to turn it into words that would work in the context of a song.
Oh.
And when she would give me a feeling and I could relate to it in any sort of the way, it just became so much easier to get the correct words. To then write down.
Okay, I find this fascinating. So Jessi tells you how these words can come off when the way that we can see ourselves sometimes in our emotions, but then you balance it out with someone who doesn't have that emotion. How can I relate this to their feelings? So it's like two different songs combined into one with the same meaning.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's awesome.
We stayed up all night writing the song. It was like it started at like 10 o'clock at night. We stayed up till 6 a.m. and we got the whole song done. But it was like literally just giving him the blurbage that goes through my own head, because like that line there came from one of the most important books you read when you're borderline is a book called I Hate You, Don't Leave Me.
Okay, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a great book, but it really like solidifies like really what you go through, because it's like I go through that whirlwind about 3-4 times a day sometimes. And I don't always realize it to him, especially not anymore, because it's like he gets where I'm at. But it's just like I'll go through a whirlwind. Like one little thing could make me go all the way around. My therapist calls it my hole. I go to my rabbit hole. So to see. So it's just like
I feel like everybody can relate to a line like that.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has their own version of a rabbit hole. You don't have to have a mental illness to have a rabbit hole. You know what I mean? We all go through those days, those times, those feelings.
And these can relate to people, who suffer from just depression too. No other other conditions. Like I hate myself. I think it fucking shows, and that could just be someone who is just dealing with some like deep depression stuff. So like you don't even need to be any certain way to be able to relate to these lines either, because we all have those moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of us have them more frequently throughout the day, but we all kind of have those moments. And this can relate to A lot of different people, different things. Oh, is this the only thing I'll ever know? Trying so hard to feel so hollow. Face to face with everything I sow. I hate myself. I think it shows. Trying so hard to feel so hollow. Trying so hard to just feel something, even if it is hollow.
Yeah, so for me, that was like, I feel so much all the time. That's literally what borderline is. It's extreme emotion, good or
You
bad.
just so you're trying hard to get to that place. Oh, okay, I get it.
Sometimes want to feel nothing. I want to feel nothing. I just, I want to be in the moment, and I want to feel the level of whatever it is that everybody else is feeling, and not extreme, So sometimes I really do want to feel hollow. I want to let it go. I want to just put it to the side for a minute because it's exhausting.
On the flip side of that coin, coming from someone like myself, trying so hard to feel anything the fuck at all, is like a whole different kind of aspect that I thought about immediately when she gave me those thought processes. I was like, there's a whole other side to that too. And I was like, that's so cool. Like,
yeah. I think it's really awesome how you guys are balancing this stuff off together. It's unique. It's different.
It's kind of the whole point of Vescent in and of itself is to just be slightly different, I
think you guys have got some going here that you should utilize and make it known that one of the writing partners is your wife that goes through it.
If you check the
credits.
The credits, she's in there.
Oh, okay. But I mean more of like a visual, like, hey, this is something that is a huge part of our songwriting because sometimes when people are saying these things, when I feel these things, I try to relate it to how I'm feeling, and that's how I relate. But if you know that it's also coming from someone who's feeling those exact things, I think it's a little heavier too.
Relate, right?
Yeah.
It's genuine.
Yeah. I actually have a quick question for Jessi. With all the emotions you feel, I'm sure this has come up at some point, but would you consider yourself an empath?
Yes. Justin calls me an extreme empath. I bet for other people.
Yeah.
I feel like I walk into a room and I can feel what everybody's feeling. Like I can cry because somebody else is crying and not even know why they're crying. Like it's just it gets the best of me. It could be like really helpful and really supportive to people sometimes, and then sometimes it can be really damaging to myself. You know?
Like and I asked that because I am as well. And so not only do we have a hard time balancing our own shit, but then we try balancing other people's shit for them and they didn't even ask for it.
Yeah.
We just feel like we need to be good people. And when they don't appreciate it, we're like, fuck you, you're dead to me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And like also like sometimes I could pick up on it. I feel like I pick up on a mood change before the person realizes their mood changed. So like I'll just notice something small because the way that I grew up, to keep myself safe, I had to like analyze everything, every mood, every breath, every step, every anything. And so like now I feel like I do it so like subconsciously that like I'll notice something and be like, are you okay? And like, sometimes Justin's not receptive to it. He'll just be like I'm fine. Why would you say that? But like I love him to pieces, and I'll notice little things and I'm like, are you sure? Sure? Because like I don't know, it's just that, but that's just how my brain works. And then I got to realize that not everybody also feels every little feeling face value.
Right. Once we're able to realize that people probably don't see the world the way that we see it, it's kind of hard to imagine. Like, how can you not like this person's like literally crying in front of you? How does that not make you feel anything? When I just feel like I need to start crying because of
and then some people do that on purpose because like they don't like feeling those extreme feelings, so they rather turn it off. They rather put it to the side all the time.
Yeah. We can't do that though.
No, I couldn't even if I wanted. I don't want to do that.
It's a blessing and a curse, I call it.
So it's funny that you guys are talking about that because I do consider myself an empath very much at all, and I think that she can agree. But in capacities where it's a group setting, I find myself getting so tied in to making sure that everybody has the same common goal and gets to success. So for example, if you catch me in like a movie, you know what I mean, and it's a group of people and they just got through something hard, I'm gonna be bawling my eyes out. You know what I mean? And like when it comes to like groups of friends or like the band or just anybody in general that I consider great to work with, it's all about getting us to the spot where we're just continuously growing. And
Well, what's your saying? The ships?
well, yeah. A rising tide raises all ships. I mean, in this community, you see it happen all the time. Bands think one thing, or they don't get along with another band, and then they'll do whatever it is that they can to, chop the feet out from underneath them. And it's just unnecessary, in my personal opinion. I feel like there's more than enough people to enjoy all of the music that we have to offer.
Yep.
And it's all about really good shit. So why not? You know what I mean? Like
one thing that I want to say real quick before I forget it. I don't like the fact that you said that you don't consider yourself an empath. You seem like you seem like an awesome dude who loves his wife, who, wants to grow in life with the band. I mean, those are all, just because you don't feel it to the extent that like some people do doesn't mean that you're not.
I feel like it's because of what I'm told by other people and the way that
don't listen to other people, dude. What are you doing?
And the reason that they say that to me though is because of the way that I am, in the way that I try and explain it. I'm very hard-headed and I bash through everything. So it's like I will not only avoid my own feelings on the way to a goal, I will also avoid everybody else's. I will say, I'm not dealing with this, so you shouldn't even bring it the fuck up. Let's get to the end point and then we'll talk about
that.
Why
to me, that just sounds like boundary setting and nothing else.
I was going to say, Justin's a very logical person. So he likes to problem solve, and the way that he thinks about things, this is why me and him, we butt heads, but we also work so well. We're very opposite in a lot of ways, but we also even each other out. You know what I mean? So
magnetism.
That's how I feel in my relationship too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
He actually wrote a song about me, and in it he says, you teach me how to feel and I'll teach you how to stand, right?
Yeah.
And that's basically like what we're actually keeping each other out. Is just like I feel like I help him connect more to his emotions because sometimes that's okay, and then and he's given me a backbone, like to where like I set more boundaries and I don't let people walk all over me and things like that.
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
It's just the way that he approaches situations and how to handle them is just different.
And that's what I was thinking too. I'm just like, it's just boundary setting, man. Yeah. Like you have to focus on yourself first. You have to focus on you and your wife first before like fuck everybody else.
I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate you saying that. That's just boundary setting because like it's kind of how I've tried to position it. But like, I mean, it's everybody's response to it.
Doesn't matter. Then they're not respecting the boundaries that you're setting for your own mental health.
But also I think my only thing is, and I always say this to him, is this: sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right, 100%.
That's where,
and that's when people like me and Jessi think that you fucking hate us.
Exactly.
Right, exactly. and that's where I fall short all the time because I mean, like as a male, I'm 29 years old. I'm about to turn 30. You know what I mean? And like only in the last 5-6 years, have I learned that it's okay. You're not just a man and you have to deal with this and you have to do this and you have to do that or else you're worthless. It took me a long time, almost 24, 25 years, whatever it took to realize like, yo, you're good. Like chill. Like,
yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that because me and him, we have a different dynamic here. Like I wanted him to pursue music. I wanted all of his time to go towards music. So we have a different dynamic, the way that our marriage works, than like a lot of older people wouldn't view as. I
thought she was crazy. I was like, no, I'm gonna continue selling cars. I'm making damn near 6 figures.
He was.
And she's like, you're miserable. And I'm like,
I was like, you're miserable. You're not happy, and you're not doing the things that make you who you are.
Money doesn't matter at the end of the day. I mean, it does, but like for happiness, no.
It's not even about that, but it's about like what other people have to say. Like, you know what I mean? We take care of my grandmom. We live with her. We take care of her, and she has a lot to say about how we do things and what Justin's doing. And I always tell her, like, it's not your place. Like,
yeah.
We agreed upon this. This is something me and him talk through thoroughly, and we've come to a conclusion together. And this is what I want him to do. So
this is so wild hearing this, because that's exactly what my wife's doing. She's holding us down right now, and she told me, she said, "Do the podcast because I believe in it."
Yeah,
and that's what I'm doing full time right now. And she's taking care of stuff, and I get super embarrassed by it sometimes. So I get that feeling, dude. But dude, we have fucking solid wives.
Because like as a man, you want to be that. I thought she was crazy. I'm like, no, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna provide, and then we're gonna have a kid, and we're gonna do all these things, And yeah, she was like, no, do this instead. And then I went from trying to sell 25 cars in a month, 15 cars if I was lucky, and to producing an EP.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it's all like believing in what he's doing. I see, like I said before, my dad was a musician. Well, he wanted to be a musician. My dad plays drums. He's a pretty good drummer. But I watched him get in his own way, and I watched now what that regret of him not being able, or actually trying at that, does at 50-something years old. You know what I mean? And I don't. Yeah. A key to a successful marriage is, trust and love and support. And I don't want him to have any resentment in life. And I'm not saying that I caused him to do that or anything like that, but I don't want to watch that weigh on him, you know what I mean? Because you can see, if you know him, that makes him who he is. It's like
I was gonna say that too. You seem very passionate about the things you're talking about.
I don't think there's ever not been a musical just like essence in my body. That's like the best way for me to describe it. I'll cough in rhythm. Yeah.
Okay. He is. My friends used to call him Mr. Musically Inclined because he's just.
And I'm none of those.
Your vision is black and white when it comes to music. You're like, music is life. Music is everything. No one's gonna tell me otherwise.
But like at the same time, I also don't see myself as like musically inclined in any capacity. I can't be like, oh yeah, let me just sit here and play in the C.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. You feel the vibrations. It makes you feel a certain way. It brings out something in you.
He hears things people don't. He hears like different noises. And like,
Just because you don't play an instrument doesn't mean you don't feel the music and say that you're.
He plays every instrument. He plays guitar, drums, bass.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant. Like you.
No,
I mean, like I have like a general understanding, but like I don't know like all the things. So like jumping between like different modes or scales on a guitar, or
like kind of some of just like the technicalities behind it, and like note reading and stuff like that.
Right. So like for example, I'm not really good at paradiddles or like any traditional things, throughout my life. I picked up a guitar for the first time when I was 3 years old. And then before that, apparently I put drumsticks through a toy kit. And my dad was like, well, he'll never play a toy kit. We'll have to get him a real kit. And then that never ended up being a thing. So apparently drums were supposed to be my first instrument. But then I remember getting a guitar. And then that was just like my life forever until I got into baseball.
Yeah.
Drums, though. You should see
I don't really know what's going on here, but so I was supposed to be a drummer. That was my number one goal, was to be a drummer. Really? I had always looked up to like Travis Barker from when I was a teenager, fucking just Blink-182, and the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold, and Joey Jordison from Slipknot, and just like all these guys who I grew up listening to. I wanted to be a drummer, and my parents. We were going back and forth on it. They're like, maybe we'll build a shed and soundproof it in the back. And then one day my dad goes, if you drop this drum set thing, I'll take you to Guitar Center right now and buy you a guitar. And I was like, fuck, what do I do here? I'm like, all right, let's go to Guitar Center. But like, I always feel like drumming was supposed to be the route that I was supposed to go. And whenever I think about it, I think, fuck, what would have happened if I would have picked up drumsticks instead of a guitar pick?
It's so funny,
See,
man.
that's why I don't want him to have those thoughts. I want him to try everything.
Yeah,
want
I
him
get that.
to
Because
give it
20
all.
years later, I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, fuck, what would have happened?
I see what it does to a man. You know what I mean? I watched it happen to my dad, and I just don't want him to carry that around for the rest of his life. I want him to know. I either want him to succeed and do wonderful, or at least he knows he tried. You know, that's the biggest thing for me. You know, I just want him to know that he gave it his all, and we're in a position right now for him to do that. So this is the best time to do it.
And I took advantage of the situation I was in when I was younger, and I did not give it my all.
Yeah.
So now's the time to.
I feel the same way.
He's so smart. It's like if he doesn't know what he's doing, he figures it out, and he figures out every in and out of it. So it's not like he's just doing it all willy-nilly, you know what I mean? Like he really knows what he's doing. So it's easy to believe in. It's easy to support. It's easy to see the vision.
One other line that I wanted to point out from the start of this is I hate myself. I'm going to leave that there for a second. I hate myself.
Yeah.
I constantly feel that way because I think I'm a burden to my wife. I'm not being the man that I need to be. I ruin relationships. I go down this spiral, and for a long time, I hated myself. And there's still times that I do, but since I met my now wife, I've been able to say something different, and it's all because of her.
That's what I say too. Exactly. It's like, and now it's like I just hate a version of myself. It's
exactly. I hate that old me.
I love myself more than I ever have, and I just hate sometimes when that part of me wins. You know, because it does. It's like I'm not perfect. I work really hard. I'm in therapy, and I do all the things I need to do to try to be the best version of myself. And I have great support, and not even only support, but like, I really admire the person that Justin is in a lot of ways. And, you know, I want to get there myself. So I just, when I have those moments where that kind of stuff takes over and I don't catch myself and I can't bring myself back down, you know, and I just hate myself in those moments. And I feel like in those moments when that all comes out, it shows, you know?
Yeah. Because
So
you get depressed and you kind of wallow in it and soak in it, and like you know you can't hide how you're feeling. There's no way to hide it.
And the worst thing I can do is not sit here and just, I love and support Justin so much, and then I can't not do that for myself, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's funny that you say that, because sometimes when I'm on this podcast, I feel like I'm a hypocrite because I'm just like, dude, I can't even take care of myself. How am I going to go on a podcast and talk about mental health and try to be inspiring in some way when I can't even do that to myself?
Well,
I'm gonna go ahead and just out the joke that she made when she found out that we scheduled this. She was like, "You're going on a podcast about mental health," and
I chuckled.
And then she went. I'm like, well, all right.
He's not good at talking about this stuff, you know. Like like he keeps it all bottled up.
But that's why I want to do this, is so other people. Yeah,
it's not about trying to get perfect yourself. It's giving people the platform to not be perfect, and everybody that they're not alone, and everybody goes through this stuff, and it's okay. Like it's a part of life. It's a part of being human, you know.
Yeah.
So good on you for that. I think that's really awesome.
Thank you. I feel like you guys are my new favorite couple. And I feel like you are a version. You're just a little bit of a younger version than us. We have to meet up on March 13th.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
It's going to be fun. Well, let's keep rocking out. We still got some more songs to listen to. Hits deep. I feel like every lyric here I can relate it to all my shit. So I'm blind, but I can't find a way to hide. We were just saying that we feel everything so strong that everybody knows how we feel because we show it.
Yep.
From this temporary state of mind, when I snap out of that manic episode,
Yep.
I can breathe and I'm like, okay, it was temporary. It's over now. I've tried, but can't seem to walk a line because it just comes right back, and we know it's coming back.
Yeah, it's like a
Can't
cycle.
tell the difference between black and white. We don't know what feeling to trust.
Yep.
Scared of the same. I find comfort in the pain. I get that. I feel sometimes when I'm happy, I'm not as comfortable as I should be.
You are when you're on
Yeah,
edge,
you don't trust it. You're waiting for
You
the
don't
other
trust it because
Yeah.
you're like, I'm just going to be down at some point anyway. So why do I even enjoy the happiness?
Yeah, it's almost like what do they call in therapy? Imposter feeling. You know?
Yeah, imposter syndrome.
Yeah. It's
I'd give anything to find the gray. So that's an interesting line.
Yes.
Dive into that one.
So for me, when we were talking about it, is more like so spending so much time, jumping between black and white, two extremes, happy, sad, whatever the case may be, that sometimes I wish I like just same thing of putting those feelings to the side, landing in the middle. Like it's okay to be in the,
So that goes back to the earlier line then. What's the one?
Yeah, how I related it was the gray is exactly what that is, right? That is the being able to not be scared of the same.
Yeah. It's like I don't know how to explain it appropriately, but like when you're in the two extremes, like being able to take a step back, you know what I mean, and view both sides and choose appropriately, you know what I mean, like that. There's that like that island, like it's just not, you're not always having to live inside the chaos, like it's like.
I like the way that she described how, the scared of the same, finding comfort in pain thing. It's like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Right. And finding gray is being comfortable in knowing
just being
that other shoe is not going to drop.
Or even if
or even if it does, that it's okay.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
Like you just get so like you're so comfortable in the chaos because that's all you've ever known, because like where borderline for me stems from is like childhood trauma, like going through so much all the time. And it was like when I got with Justin, it was almost like the sky opened up. Like he opened up my eyes to so many things, like to where like so many things were like not good, and I was being manipulated and taken advantage of, and that was all so normal to me that when he first even said like that's not right, like that person treating you that way or saying that or doing that to you is not right, I got mad at him. Because I was like, what do you mean? Like that's my family, or that's this person, like what are you talking about? And I got mad. But like after talking with him and then also a lot of therapy, it's like I said, the sky opens up and you realize that you get so used to things because you've been conditioned for so long to be such a certain way that you don't even see it, So it was like the comfort was in the pain. And sometimes I find myself like when I do fall back into that place where I hate myself, it's because that's normal to me. That's my first instinct. And now I have to like combat that and go with what I like to call it is new Jessi. I have new Jessi. I have little Jessi, little kid Jessi, my inner child. And then there's that middle girl that I was for a really long time that, I didn't know.
Lost in limbo.
Yeah, I was like lost in limbo. And then now I'm like this new version of myself. And I'm learning to address both of those girls, in those moments where they present themselves. And I want to be able to pull myself into the gray and tell them that it's okay, and comfort myself in the different versions of myself, because they come out at all different times.
And it almost seems like the artwork is the gray, too.
Yes.
Keep that in
mind,
in your head for just the gray. You can keep that in the head.
Okay.
In the future.
It's interesting that you gave a visual to the gray and how you did it. And you involved your husband in it.
Yeah. Well, he's my he literally, I say it to my therapist all the time, and it's like he brought sunshine into my life. You know, I lived at the bottom of my hole, and that's
Me
where
too.
I was comfortable. And it's like he
Yeah.
gave me my ladder, and I climbed to
Yeah.
the top,
That's
and I
it.
spent
Yeah.
time up there than ever. And
Yeah.
that sounds so corny, and I'm sure people are like, "Oh, it's just her husband. She feels that way." But again, they can't
Yeah.
tell me how to feel because they don't know what's right.
That's what
Yeah.
I've never heard you say that. The whole turtle, the
I just learned it in therapy. It's been like she brings my therapist brings my artwork
Yeah.
into therapy, and she has me draw
Cool.
like different
Yeah.
things. That's what we did. We made a visual of like what that ladder of emotions feels like, and for me,
And what it looks like.
yeah, exactly. You give it a picture, you give it a
Yeah.
visual, and it's like
Yeah.
it's easier in the moments than to
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
yeah, to like
Yeah.
handle it, because now I have this visual in my head, and I can say, okay, I'm here. I want to be here. How do I get there?
Yeah.
So
I'd give anything to find the gray, and I know the strain will never leave my brain. So tell me, what do I have to pay? So I'm gonna leave out that next line for a second. Just go over. So tell me, what do I have to pay? We want to get so. Sometimes we just really want to get out of that feeling, and we'll do anything.
yeah,
Like, I don't want to be in this mindset right now. Who do I have to give something to?
Yep.
yeah. Or you know,
What is the price of this?
take it a little deeper, and it's like, okay, what do I have to say? What do I have to do? You know, like what do I have to do? Like, you're in the moment. Say, just for an example, like me and him are arguing, and I'm like, okay, this is sending me spiraling, and I don't want to be in this headspace. How do I get out of it? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, you know, or
Yeah.
you start doing whatever they said you didn't do, or
Or you leave.
yeah, or whatever the case may be. Like, you can apply it in so many different ways. It's like, I just want this to end. I want this to end. I want this argument to end. I want my head to stop spinning. I want my feelings to go back down. I want it to stop. So then you start doing things that are irrational, you know, that aren't thought through and probably aren't appropriate, you know, to like make it stop. Which
we can be very impulsive sometimes.
Yeah, it's like
I feel like that's another one of those things that kind of anybody who's ever had a heightened emotion in any capacity can relate to.
Yeah.
It's like the picture of the snake and the saw. You know, the saw hurt the snake, so the snake bites the saw and wraps its body around the saw as tight as possible and continues to hurt itself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
again,
that's interesting you said that. You know, one thing that I could say, and I'm sure you relate, Jessi, but you know, if anybody asks what kind of that manic anger is for me, the bipolar anger, I can say, hey, go back to a time when you were the maddest that you can think of. That is where I'm at on a weekly basis for anything super small.
Right. That's a good way to think about it.
It is, because it's like, and that's what then also then in turn makes you more mad as the person that's going through it, because it's like sometimes you can like kind of see through, and you can see like, okay, I'm feeling this extreme emotion, but it's like, how do I convey this to you that like,
right,
you know, appropriately, like to where like you get it, and it's like, that is a good way to put it. Because it's like I feels like you have no control over it. It just happens.
Just happens.
Eventually.
So tell me, what do I have to do to pay to leave this place? Because I can't take another second of this fucking game. And I like that you say fucking game, because I feel like just saying that word just like it just amplifies the next word. I can't take another second of this game. Feels so much different than I can't take another second of this fucking game.
Yep.
We're so mad about it.
When I was a kid, it's funny, but like I had all of these older male siblings that were around me, and we always did dumb shit like skateboard and get hurt, or like we would wrestle each other and somebody would break a finger, or me and somebody else would get into a fight, and you know what I mean, and like whatever. But like all of the older siblings would be like, yo, curse, like it's gonna make it feel better.
Yeah,
like the pain's gonna go away.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said that. Just saying those words and knowing the weight behind them It's kind of like a release. You're letting some of that weight go.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But that whole block right there to leave this place because I can't take another second of this fucking game is exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
It's the cap to the whole thing.
It feels like a game that you can't win.
To get out of this, you know?
Dude,
Yeah.
fun note, I didn't start cursing until I was in my 20s.
I've been cursing since elementary school.
I
blame Eminem for that.
One of my favorite stories just from my life as a kid growing up, I had this cousin, his name was Frankie, and I was really into wrestling as a kid.
Me too.
And in wrestling, you know, they're always cursing, you know? And, well, at least back in the day, wrestling, the good shit.
Yeah. The good shit.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
it was WWF. Fuck this
Right.
WWE shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They changed after they changed their name.
Yeah, definitely.
They really
exactly.
did. They went a whole new direction with everything when they changed that name.
The Smack Talk turned into Whack Talk.
I was at a wrestling event a couple months ago in Arizona, and I was just sitting there. I'm like, what is this?
Yep.
Where am I at right now? Like, where's Stone Cold flipping everybody off and drinking beers right now? Where are all the tables, ladders, and chairs at? Where is anything?
Right. So, you know, I'm downstairs in the basement.
The Attitude Era, that's what it's called.
Right, exactly, the Attitude Era. So we're downstairs in the basement, me and my older cousin, and we're like, you know, fake wrestling. We're making up, we're doing the things that we see on TV downstairs on like a couple of mattress pads on the floor, you know? And my older cousin, you know, he's 16, 17 years old. I'm 5, 6, whatever. And he's like, oh, well, do the thing. You know, you can curse while you're beating me up. You know what I mean? Like, your mom's he's not going to hear it. Like, it won't matter. And, yeah, it's just super funny to me because, like, the phone was off the hook. If anybody that's watching this, which I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people, remember having landlines. And the landline, if it was off the downstairs, when you answered the phone upstairs, you would hear it.
Yeah.
You could hear everything that's going on in the house. It acted like a receiver. So I'm downstairs, fake beating up my cousin, saying, fuck you this, fuck you that. And I just hear my mom drop this big metal pot and she broke beat my ass.
Yeah. The one that I got in trouble for the most was suck it. I used to do the whole suck it. And then one time my mom was like, do you even know what that means?
Yep, exactly.
And I was like,
no.
Triple H says it.
Yeah, exactly.
I did that too, and Chelsea.
So funny.
It's so funny.
That can't be.
I was in second grade. I had just seen School of Rock for the first time.
Okay.
And, in School of Rock, Jack Black does the read between the lines thing, right? Which is flipping somebody off. And I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't fucking know this. We're learning how to write certain letters in second grade in cursive or whatever. And she's like, oh, yeah, make sure you do it in between the lines. And I was like, oh, Miss whatever, insert teacher's name here, read between the lines. And I threw the 3 fingers up and she lost her mind. Like,
we didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, as a little kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a TV show, that's
yeah. I'm sure that happens way more often than we think.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy kids.
So
crazy
funny.
kids.
When you think back on it, you know, all those years later, it's hilarious thinking about that interaction and wishing that you had it on film and it was like a part of a TV show.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we still have I think we finished up all the new lyrics.
Yeah. It's a very short song.
Yeah, let's keep rocking out to ride the track out and we'll talk a little bit more afterwards.
Sounds good.
What do I have to pay to leave this place? 'Cause I can't take another second of this fucking game. I'm blind but can't find the way to hide from this temporary state of mind. I tried but can't seem to walk the line. Can't tell the difference between black and white. I'm blind but can't find
I didn't see it ending that way. That's cool. Done. It's almost like it reminds me of when we snap out of our moods, Jesse. It's like, oh, we're good now. Sick.
Yep.
I like this feeling.
Yep.
That was kind of the idea with that being the last song.
Yeah. You guys have no clue how much I like understand. Well, I'm Jesse, I know you do. But like how much like this song like relates to me and how I can listen to this and just not feel alone. You know? It's fucking awesome. It's a great song. And this song kind of gives people in this community kind of a mixture of a couple different things. You know, you have some of the technical stuff going on, but you also have the breakdowns that you can like throw your fist to.
Yep.
You know, there's kind of a mixture of a lot of different elements here. What genre would you say that Vescent is?
I would definitely say we're like metalcore.
Metalcore.
And the reason that I say that is because of the fact that if I was to say that there was any genre in metal that is the most open to taking influence from other genres, it would be metalcore.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if you wanted a hyper genre, like hyper focus on our genre, I mean, we would probably be considered like hardcore new metalcore, modern hardcore new metalcore, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we take
these names are so ridiculous.
Yeah.
We'll take
rock and roll. Can we just go back to rock and roll?
It's just fucking rock music, and I yell into the microphone. You know?
Yeah, if you're yelling and playing your own instruments, you're fucking rock and roll. Let's just leave it at that. God.
Yeah. As
Simpler days.
As much of a modern take on metal music with metalcore music, with as much of a hardcore pull as we can possibly get. Coming from the Philadelphia area, there's such a rich hardcore scene here. It's kind of inevitable. If you're from here, you're gonna love hardcore, especially growing up in pop punk, any of it. It's all adjacent. So you're gonna end up in a place where there's literal, just giant scene of hardcore.
Yeah.
You're gonna inevitably end up there one day.
Forgive me if I'm ignorant on this, because maybe I am. I definitely like hardcore music, but I wouldn't say it's like the main thing that I listen to. But this hardcore, and maybe it's because you're calling it metalcore. I don't know. I'm very bad on genres anyway. But this sounds very polished and like professional sounding. Like when I think of hardcore, like
you think
like some of the older shit, I just think of like garage music, and just like it sounds kind of raunchy, but like that's kind of the style of it. So to hear it in such a like clear and precise way with some of that technical shit going on, like it sounds unique and different, new, and I guess that's where the modern core comes in that you were saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then the hip hop influences, bands like Linkin Park being a huge influence. That's where the new metal thing comes in,
I love Linkin Park. I love the old Linkin Park, not the new Linkin Park.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story.
But for
that's
me,
a whole different podcast. Sorry,
if you
go
listen
on.
to the whole EP, front to back, he strategically placed everything in an order to where like it's very coherent. And there is like in other songs, there's some singing, which is where I think metalcore
definitely comes into the mix when you start bringing.
Do you sing at all on this EP?
Yes. Yeah. I sing the first 3 songs have singing in them.
Okay.
I believe Mirror, Traitor, Leech. Yeah, all have singing.
Mirror probably has the most singing out of all 3 of them.
So No Love Lost, that was like your single off this one if you had to have one?
No, so Mirror and Leech were the 2 singles. Yeah,
interesting. Over because I'm an Apple Music guy, and over on Apple Music there is like a star highlight.
Most popular.
Yeah, so that's the one that people really like.
Yes.
Okay, that's the one that I listened to just to get a sound, but I didn't want to listen to too much, so that's the only one that I've heard. And I went to that one because it had the star on it.
You like that one because that song's literally about like people fucking you over. And,
This is
to cut.
I get where these lyrics are coming from. Like, I get the message, I get the story, and I think if more people fully understood what you guys were like talking about and these feelings, I think this would hit hard with so many people.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, like, I think it would be a huge benefit for you guys to kind of show more of Jessi's side of it and like the songwriting side and that perspective side. I'm not trying to ruin anything or mess with any dynamics or anything, but I'm just saying as like a listener and a fan, if I were to be like, oh shit, she's helping write these raw, real things, and then he's combating it with like from not coming that perspective. It's really interesting take.
But realistically, I've only helped with Black and White, and that was it. No Love Lost is based off of a personal experience Justin went through. I feel like every song on the EP pulls from a different, maybe not Chris, but like Ben, you know what I mean? Like just a lot of things that the band personally, like in their own lives, have gone through, and they've just taken pieces of it and then like made it made it into music. So Black and White, I had a lot of influence on with Justin, but a lot of the other songs really come from his brain. I
think in future writing, you guys should keep up a little bit more.
Part of it. That's when it needs to
yeah,
exactly.
You guys are onto something here.
Yeah, I think
I feel it.
The funny thing about what you say about that is that we have a few visual ideas that will tie that into play.
Let her run with it, dog.
So hopefully it ends up out that way,
Yeah. Well, what does 2026 look like for Vescent? I know you have a couple shows coming up, but what else can you give us that we can expect from you for 2026?
So from Vescent, I mean, in 2026, what you can expect from us is if you haven't seen us in your city before, on the East Coast specifically, we can't make our way out that way unless you guys really want it. But if you haven't seen us in a city near you, you'll see us soon. On top of that, expect more singles, more songs. As soon as we can possibly get them to you, we will be getting them to you. And
you guys got some new merch out.
We've got some new merch out.
Oh, sick! I got to cop one on March 13th.
Yeah.
Definitely, March 13th is actually our day that we're gonna be over at the Bunker in New York. It's in Queens, Long Island City, which I know is generally where you're based out of. So hoping to see you there. Obviously, that would be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Anybody out there that's in the New York area, my family's from up there, so I'm hoping there's a couple of family members that come through too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun show. It's gonna be great. It's from Face the Music. They're the ones that are putting the whole show on.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a fun time.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. So if anybody were to ask you guys, where is the best place to keep up with everything, where would you send them?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Straight up.
Oh, yeah.
Instagram is definitely the best place. And we've got our card website in there that gives you a link to all of our social medias, so you can listen to us on any of the streaming platforms, and it'll bring you to music videos, things like that. The merch store. So
did you what was that website you guys just made? That
we just updated our card website.
Well, yeah, but the thing that you and Ben made that has your upcoming shows.
Oh yeah, bands in town. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's integrated into basically all social media, so you should be able to see our bands in town on social media. If not, send me a message so that way I can yell at them.
Yeah, and then they'll be dead to you if they don't do it. Anyway,
definitely we should work. We're at their mercy. Hey, here's the shows. Okay, cool. We'll post it when we get to it.
Yeah. I get it. Well, my new favorite couple, thank you for jumping on the podcast and talking about this. It is not easy at all, But the
Matt?
more people are talking about it in this, I'm going to call it the rock and roll space, to keep it easy, keep it simple. In this rock and roll space, I think it'll influence others to kind of share their story. And, the more that we feel not alone, the better that this rock space will be, I think.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid
So-
to talk about what it is that you got going on. And Matt, I
Yeah.
can't tell you how much I appreciate you having us on.
Yeah.
You guys rock. The music rocks. I love it. Keep
Thank
making
you.
more of it.
Heavy mental breakdown.
Hell yeah.